We're live. Hello, everybody. This is Haley Lynn Gray, and I am happy to be with you here again today. And I have a dear friend of mine. This is Galit Ventura-Rozen, and she is another business coach. And today we're going to talk to you about a topic that is really important because I think a lot of women do this whole thing where they start their business, where they are, working on. I'm trying to get my headphones muted over here. Oh my gosh, it's not muting. And I've got it in stereo on delay.
Well, I can't hear anything over here, Haley, so it sounds perfect over here.
Okay, yeah, no. So when it comes up on Facebook, it comes up in duplicate, and I can hear you talking and myself talking.
It's echoing.
And it echoes, and it comes back out of delay, too. So it gets really crazy. So anyway, we're going to talk about leaving your full-time job to do this whole business thing. And it can be kind of scary, right?
You're so funny. Doing this whole business thing. I love it. I love the way that you just put a spin on everything we talk about. It's so much fun because we shouldn't be so dang serious about this. You know, some people are so serious when it comes to business. I love the way you talk about business because it should be fun.
It is fun. It should be.
Right?
We act like it's terrifying and that it's this really super serious thing and we should be totally like, I don't know, follow the rules that they've set. It doesn't really matter, what those rules are or how nonsensical they are, but we have to follow those rules, whether they make any sense to our business or not, or to us or our lives or anything else.
And I think that comes from the corporate world. I think that a lot of times when you're in the corporate world, you have to just be so serious. And we know as business owners, as entrepreneurs, that, oh my gosh, it's so much more fun to do it this way. So I love your take on it. I love your spin on it. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about all these women that are looking and trying and wanting so badly to be a full-time entrepreneur, really own their own business, make a living at it, because we do need to make money as well as have a lot of fun. And they're not taking the leap.
Yeah. And a lot of times you end up sabotaging yourself because you're not doing the things you need to do in order to be able to leave the job. So you're like, well, I really need this job, but I need the security, but I don't have the time, so I'm not going to do what I need to do, and get into this like catch-22 and mindset, and it goes sideways.
Yes. So as many of you know, Haley was one of the amazing women that I got to interview in your Journey to the Top Business Summit. And the reason that I wanted to really put that together and chose women just like Haley that are killing it in their business is because I wanted us to put something out there as a group of women that we can show these women that are not taking the leap.
Right.
Different ways that they can. So some of the things that we talked about in the different interviews is mindset, huge. So I'd love to start with that. Hey, I know you and I are really big about mindset. Mm-hmm. Quite a few of the women, even if it was not their main topic, they ended up talking about mindset. Mm-hmm. What kind of mindset you need, a successful businesswoman's mindset. So we need to talk a little bit about that. So a lot of you women recognize. Now, aside from the tools, we'll definitely talk about the tools and the plan, right, Haley?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I mean, those are important pieces.
About the plan. Yeah, absolutely. So a little bit about the mindset. What kind of mindset does a woman need to be able to believe she's successful? And one of the things that she can be successful, and one of the things you mentioned right away is fear.
Yes.
Have the fear.
Yeah, and it is really funny how we have that fear of the unknown.
Yes, and we both know, because I know, Haley, you do a lot of the things that I do every day to make sure we get past that and we don't give it any energy or power over us, is to recognize that at the end of the day, a lot of fear relates directly to worry and the unknown. So what do you do about it? And a lot of what we spoke about in quite a few interviews with these 20 women is that you need to recognize that when you finally learn to let go and embrace, I love that word, embrace. Oh my, embrace it. And I always talk about it. You're going to love this because I see all your memes. Think of it as a 4-letter word that you're giving so much power to. Fear.
Yeah, right?
I don't say the other 4-letter words, so we're not going to go there.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how we do really have, these fear and, we don't trust in ourselves to really be able to do what it takes when we have to do it.
Right. And a lot of that comes from self-doubt, not believing in yourself, and resisting. So what I suggest to women is that you look at both. You look at the tools, because it's great if you have a successful mindset and you really truly believe in yourself and you're not allowing fear to take over, but you also need to recognize that you need the tools. We cover a lot of those in the business summit as well, but you need to recognize it has to be a blend of both. It has to be a blend of both. So have your plan, have those tools, make sure you have the support system. Haley and I are both coaches that hands and we walk through. But more than anything, bless you. More than anything, recognize that you want to start with mindset. Now, how do you how do you get past the fear?
Yeah, and that is kind of the tricky part, right?
Yes. So what I suggest to a lot of the women that I work with, which I know you do as well, I'm a big pull the Band-Aid off kind of girl. Like pull the Band-Aid. Now that's the easy solution, right? Just decide you're not going to allow it. So my suggestion over and over and over again is one baby step at a time. And when you recognize that you did that baby step, then take a look at it and recognize you didn't let fear take over. You embraced the unknown and look where you ended up. So huge piece of it for fear.
Yeah. And, it's really funny how that can permeate everything we do. We're as scared to make the jump. We're scared to actually put ourselves out there. And yet, what's the worst thing that can happen in a lot of cases?
And you know what I always do, Haley? I know you and I are both moms. So what I can suggest for the moms, and if you're not a mom, think about your nieces or your nephews or whoever it is that you have around you that's younger, if you do. And I always say, what would you tell your child? If your child came home and said, Mom, I want to, and whatever it is, I want to play baseball, okay? Would you tell your child, oh no, ball might hit you. Oh no, you might fall and break an arm. Oh no, whatever it is, that you might not be good at it. You might fail. Heck to no, that's not what we do. We're moms, as long as you're doing it right, which I know you and I are trying to.
We do try.
Right? When you do it right, you tell your child you can do whatever you want and just go and try and do your best. So I suggest to a lot of women out there, think of it like that.
Right.
And say, what is there to lose? What's the worst that could happen? Think about that simple example. What is a simple example?
Exactly. And, it's not like, a child when they're learning to walk, every time that they fall down, they say, oh, I must be really bad at walking, so I can't do this, so I'm not going to walk.
Oh, great example. Yes.
And yet that child keeps getting up over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And it's the people I've noticed who, I don't even know that it's a question of confidence so much as like sheer persistence and perseverance, who are willing to stick with it and try over and over and over again, who recognize the fact that, if it didn't work the first time, it may work the 10th time or the 100th time. I mean, Thomas Edison, how many light bulbs did he have to go through before he created one that works?
Yes.
It's that whole mindset piece and being willing to stick with it. And it almost doesn't matter what your business model is. There's 7 point whatever billion people on the planet. There's somebody out there to buy it from you. It's just a question of whether you're willing to do the work to go find the audience and do what you need to do to figure out where those ideal clients are hiding. Because I can guarantee you that there are people out there.
Yes. And going back to that failure of people being so fearful of failure, the fear of failure, some people have the fear of success, that's a really big one. recognizing that I know that what I do with a lot of my clients, Haley, is I say, okay, let's think of the end result that you want. I'm sure you can relate to this. How many times have you told a client, can you see yourself where you want to be? They say, no, I can't. So that's the first hurdle. That's a first hurdle. They've got to see. So if you're watching and you see yourself and you're doing something that you love, and there are so many women in your group that do what they love on a part-time basis, they're not doing it on a full-time basis.
Right.
So yes, make those logical choices. Set a goal. Set an income that you want to reach before you get your job. Set a goal of where you want to be, if it's amount of clients or amount of product sold a month, or whatever it is that works for you. And then see yourself there. I'm a big person on vision. If you don't see yourself there, how can you get there? Now, a lot of people will say, well, like, I don't see myself there. You know what? Work your way towards that. And how do you do that? How do you start seeing yourself where you want to be? Look at all these amazing women, and your group is a great place to do that, that are doing it and that are killing it. And that in itself, it's almost like Google, but it's better, because you have all these women that are succeeding. Check them out, follow them, learn from them, see how they're succeeding in the sense of that they didn't give up and now they're doing it full time. So those are a few of the things that you can do.
Right. And, you know, the other thing to remember is that those women that are out there and being successful aren't very different from you. The only difference is that they took the risk and did it. It's not that we're better looking, or our children are better behaved, or we live in a nicer house, or we have a better husband, or my cats are better behaved, or because I have a white bunny rabbit. And, you know, it's that we are all very much the same kinds of people. And if you decide that you're going to succeed and you're going to put yourself out there and you're going to try until you succeed, I think you're going to naturally get to the results that you're looking for.
Absolutely. But a key factor of that is you have to believe in yourself. And you want to step back and recognize that if you don't believe in what you're capable of, then others will not believe it, because it comes through. So I want to make sure that you recognize, the women that are watching recognize this. Haley, myself, I'm sorry, I'm throwing you in the mix. Most women, you can agree or disagree.
I agree.
Most women, including myself, we doubt ourselves at some days. We don't believe in ourselves in some days.
Absolutely.
Days where I gotta find my mojo. I came back from spring break on Monday, being gone in San Diego, where I was so happy with my family. And I had a little bit of a tough time Monday getting started, because remember, as entrepreneurs, we have to motivate ourselves. So please recognize, I think what Haley, you're trying to say is we're human too. We have bad days. We have fights with people we love. We go through traumatic events. We pick ourselves back up, and we recognize that's what makes us genuine. Mm-hmm. Maybe what you can look at, if anybody that's watching thinks I'm not good enough, what's someone gonna want to learn from me? What's someone gonna want to buy something from me? Recognize that you probably have a story that resonates with somebody, and you only start one person at a time.
Absolutely. And you know, you do it one at a time.
Yes.
And it's like the time I ended up with 100 watermelons in my dining room.
Okay. I got to hear this.
We did a Girl Scout fundraiser, and one of the parents is like, yeah, we can get these watermelons and we're going to sell them, and we're going to go to the farmer's market, and it's going to be awesome. Okay. So we cram 100 watermelons into the back of my Sequoia. You know, they're not big ones, they're, you know, little ones, but you can imagine what 100 watermelons in a car looks like. And we go from the farm to the farmer's market, and they set up for like 5 hours. They sell about 10 watermelons. And I'm sitting here going, great, I've got 90 some odd watermelons in my dining room now, because they all came back to me because I was the troop leader who was in charge of fundraising.
Right. What did you do with them?
And I'm like,
oh my God, you got
it. Of like sheer panic of, I've got 100 watermelons in my freaking dining room. And my husband is like, you are knucking futz. I don't know. I think you've lost it, right? And my kids are like, yeah, I remember this nonsense.
Yes.
And you know what I did? I sold all of the watermelons by onesies, twosies. I was posting on Facebook every day. I think everybody who knew me was totally sick of hearing about watermelons. But you know what? I got those watermelons sold in less than a week because I had to. You know, it's amazing what that have to do it.
Determination,
you know, can really do.
That is a great example.
And it's not that, you know, I'm a pro at selling watermelons, because believe me, I've never sold watermelons before in my life. You know, but I was like, you know, I am not going to leave the Girl Scout troop out all of this money from selling, you know, these freaking watermelons and, you know, in the inventory and everything. So it's not fair to the girls. So how do we make it work? And sometimes you just have to do it, whether you think you're good at it or not. Watermelons, okay, who wants to buy a watermelon?
And it's a great, you could actually use that. That's a great, anyone that is wondering how can I sell my product, think about Haley's experience with watermelons. If you can sell watermelons, they can definitely sell something else.
Exactly. If I can get rid of 100 watermelons in a week, you know, I think anybody can sell. And I am not like exceptional at sales. I don't think, you know, I'm not the most polished person in the world. I can talk people out of buying from me left, right, and center. I don't have to talk people into buying from me. And I come from an engineering background, which means that, you know, I'm in that position of, you know, being introverted, very technical, overly analytical, and having to go from an engineer and, you know, managing engineers to this, oh my gosh. It was just like fish out of the water. You know, the whole gasping for air and everything, I think.
So really, even if it's something you're not familiar with, if you're passionate about it and you want to do it, it's going to work every day of the week.
Absolutely.
It just is. And yes, the recognition that things take hard work and things take action is very important. Even if you have the mindset, I'm going to be successful. I've worked through my stuff. Okay. Now you have the tools. I know I have a plan. I know what I want to do. I know what I love. I'm going to make sure I have the right support system or the right people in my corner. You still have to recognize it takes action and hard work and time. And if that's not something you have in your mind, you're not being realistic. So you need to make sure you have all of the tools covered. Mindset, as well as action, as well as willing to do the hard work. Being someone that's worked for myself since I was 21 years old, I cannot tell you how many times I've gone through God, what is it called? It's almost like the entrepreneur blues. You just kind of get, if you think about they called it the senior blues when we were in high school, and you just don't want to do the work.
Midlife journey or midlife crisis?
Yeah, for me, I had multiple times in my career, I got to a place where I just felt like, how do I motivate myself? And I had to check myself. And a lot of times, it's funny, Haley, a lot of times it was just associated to having to check out for a bit. You need to recognize that as well. It's very normal to go through all these normal things that other women go through. And like you said, we're not any different. This dream that you think we're living takes a lot of hard work, compassion, energy. And yes, we love what we're doing. We're working a lot. We're killing it, working at it, right?
Yes, ma'am. We certainly are. You know, I know some people don't like to hear the word, but we are definitely hustling it. And, you know, we're working it, you know, and it's a good thing, you know, and when you put that, you know, you lean in and you go for it, the results are amazing. Just like, you know, your results here with the journey to the top. I am just in awe at the amount of work that you have put into this and the amazing entrepreneurs that you interviewed for this summit and everything else. Can you tell me a little bit more about the summit?
Absolutely. So many of you may have seen that Haley posted on her page. It's called Your Journey to the Top. So you can go to yourjourneytothetop.com.
And I posted the link here as well.
I know. You're so wonderful. So Haley's one of the 20 women that I chose. I actually researched women myself. It was very important to me, since this was my first summit, that I chose women that I resonated with, that I wanted to offer to other women, because this is free. We don't make any money from this. One of the things we love to do as our passion is help women. It's not about the money always. Money's about the bonus and wanting to support our family and take care of ourselves. So I went through and I just started researching women and found Haley through her group. I became part of your group a few months before. And I said, my gosh, and I watched your interaction. You're totally going to turn red, so just be ready. I watched the way that you do what I believe every entrepreneur should do. You give back. You're constantly engaging. You are aware of the women in your group, and those are all so important for a group, because there are so many groups on Facebook, ladies, that are not engaging, that nobody stays on top of, and they just get lost. And Haley, you started this group, I believe, from what I learned about you, because you wanted these women to have a place where they could come when they had questions, come when they had support. So coming back to your journey to the Top Business Summit, it was so important to me to choose women based on their passion, what they love to do, and what they could teach. So I'm going to use you as an example. You'll be my guinea pig today. Haley's topic is how to build a successful Facebook group. And I said, my gosh, that's so important in the world of business entrepreneurs today. How neat is it that Haley was willing to, you were willing to share every secret, everything that you could. And what was so awesome is these interviews are 30 minutes each. So they're not you sitting for hours. I wanted to make it realistic, but I'm asking you questions of things that I would want to know, or things that women that are either entrepreneurs or looking to be would want to know. And what I loved more than anything was all 20 women at very different levels of their career. Some have been in their career for over 10 years. Some have been in their career for 8 months. I did not weigh those things. I weighed it on what could they give, and also what I could give, because I wanted to uplift the women as well. So the women that have been doing this for 10 years that have successful books and careers wanted to give back, and the women that have barely started wanted to be a part of this, because for them it was such an honor. So it was so much fun for me to watch. And some of the interviews we're going to be covering social media, how to be an expert, mindset, how to break patterns, how to manifest and have affirmations every day that put you in a positive place, how to write your first book, get published either on your own, self-published, or publish yourself, and use that to get clients. So there's so many, how to become a speaker, how to use a speaker, how to use being a speaker to turn it into sales. The artful, I think it's called the soul of artful selling. There's so many different topics. I'm trying to think of them off the top of my head.
Yeah, it's
20 different women, 20 different topics.
That is like amazing. It's like a business education in a month.
Yes. So all you have to do is sign up with your email. It's free. You'll start getting emails on May 1st. Every day you'll get a different email with a different woman. And the best part is every woman is giving you something free that you can use in your work life. So if you're thinking of becoming an entrepreneur, there's a woman that I interviewed, Haley, that she was just about to have her second child, and she teaches women how to have a 3-day work week and still be successful. So you can learn how to have a 3-day work week. A lot of these women, you just sign up, and that day that you get their interview in the email, there's a link. Remind me what you gave. Do you remember?
I gave away the ebook on how to build a Facebook group.
Perfect. So there you go. So Haley's example is perfect. The day that Haley's interview comes out, every day will be one. You'll get an email that has a picture of Haley and I. It'll show the topic, few little bullet points, not to give too much away, a link to the interview to watch live, well, not live, but to watch at that moment, and a link to get that free ebook that Haley's giving. So imagine 20 of those, and every one is completely different. So it's really, really exciting that we were able to put this together.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
And I'm so honored to be a part of this.
Thank you so much. It's so much fun. For me, the funnest part about this, aside from being able to give to women so they can learn, was the idea that I got to connect with so many neat, amazing women, and you and I connected, and it's like, okay, let's do this, let's do that. And that's what this is about. The biggest thing I want to tell women is that I don't know society. I've never worked in the corporate world, so I'm really lucky. But society puts out there in the corporate world many times women that have to knock each other down to get to the next level. Mm-hmm. And I think one of the things I just want to mention is recognize the group and what Haley does, because that's what everything is about in this group, building each other up. And what I love, great example, Haley, you're a business coach, but you allow every business coach that wants to be a member. This is not about competition. This is about there's enough clients out there for everybody.
Absolutely.
And I love that. And so recognize we don't live in that world. This world is lift each other up. This world is let's help each other succeed. Haley and I only have so many hours in the day. We cannot have 6 gazillion clients.
No.
There's enough clients for everybody. So recognize that and don't let it turn you off because there's somebody out there doing the same thing as you. Because you're going to attract different clients to buy your product than they are or to work with you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It has been so fun to have you here. And I have posted the link down below.
Thank you, Haley. We said we're going to dance. Are we not?
Yes, we are doing a dance. Thank you.
Thanks, Haley. I appreciate it. And I appreciate you taking part. Thank you so much for everything you've done to make this success.
I'm so glad to be here. Thank you.
All right. See you soon. Talk to you soon.
See you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.